The Lord said, I was in an encounter early this year. I was upon the mountain. I think Apostle Bulu, some few of them knew it. I climbed mountain. I stayed there for like, sometimes we stay for 6 days. I'm born on Christmas Day. Immediately I go up to the mountain. Because I've been with people have not helped me. So I go to where I will receive help. Moses was with people, his face did not glow. The more you stay with people, the more you have problem. Go and stay with God. Your problem have no end until you behold the Lord. All this confusion in your life, what it needs is just one beholding. As you behold, you are transformed. All these unanswered questions, you will listen to 35 sermons, they won't be answered. You need just one light that comes from an encounter. When he appears, you now realize everything the devil said was a lie. It's not as if he doesn't need to answer any of the question. In fact, he doesn't even need to even give you any light or direction. When he just appears, you now realize that although you don't have a job, although you are not married, although you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you are willing to still go with the Lord for the next 5 years. Why? One encounter gladdens your heart. And so as you begin to advance, it will not take 2 years, 3 years. And then all the other things will not start working on their own just like that. But the strength to still advance is the problem. Because when the Lord did not appear, you just realize that you just wake up and say, I'm not doing again. And I was in the mountain praying, and I saw in a vision. In fact, I saw a fight between Russia and China. I didn't know it's going to be Ukraine, but what I saw was Russia, China. Then I begin to see some contentions. I see fights going on in Nigeria. I saw failure within political sectors. But I now saw the believers turn to become like the eagles, and they began to fly. And I see 2 sets of eagles. I saw younger eagles and older eagles, and they were flying together like this as they were soaring, moving. I saw as they were advancing, the older eagles were at the front, the younger ones were at the back advancing. And as they were coming, they will go, and as they are going, they will meet a mountain. The older one will fly above the mountain and go and pass the other location. Anytime they move, they meet a barricade. The older ones have a way of navigating and passing through the barricade and coming out on the other way. But the younger ones are trying to learn their wings. They are still trying to learn how to be able to navigate. So some of the older ones, some of the younger ones, as they are trying to fly above the mountains, they are hitting the mountain. Somehow they could not gain more altitude, so they are colliding with the mountain and they are falling down. And few among the younger ones were able to fly beyond. I get to the point now. Then, as they were moving, and I saw arrows being shot towards them again, as if there was an hunter that was just shooting them. And they were shooting them. I saw how that many of the older ones could even, can even divert there's a way, I can't observe. There was a way they were even diverting, those arrows, by the position, how they were doing their wings and the rest. And I was shocked. But the younger ones were not skilled to handle that. And I saw how many arrows were piercing them again and again. And the Lord told me that this year is going to be a terrible year. And He's demanded of us to mount up higher. He said, tell your people, this is the year for mounting up. That in the midst of this calamity, they must wait upon me sufficiently well to receive strength for them to go higher, so that there is a place where the enemies will not see them. And I realized, He told me that part of those young English and the other one that refused to stay and be able to renew their strength were the ones that their strength were failing as they were advancing. He said it was now a moment where they needed their strength. It now began to fade because they were demanded to have waited, they didn't. And that was when I realized that this year is going to be terrible for many people. But those that have spiritual intelligence and those that have waited upon the Lord, that are wise enough, are going to see that there are other fountains that the Lord can open. There are other possibilities even in the midst of this darkness. Remember the Lord thy God, because an evil day comes. When that evil day comes, how do you survive? By the strength of Ebenezer. It may not be too long. Your evil day will come. My mom is here. My mom that prayed me to become born again. Many years ago, I was a smoker, I was a drunkard. Yes, I was drinking, I was smoking. I did Mushagia then. Mushagia, Mushatapa, Mushawiwi, Musha Mayalan Sulkudai, Musha Solution, Mumbi Mata. You felt that is life, Abi. I'm enjoying my life. You are fake. You are not even existing. This matter we are saying is not of value to you. See, big boy and big girl is not by smoking and drinking. Two big boys and big girls, they speak in tongues and they prophesy. As carnal as these things are, there's no award for it. You know, they give award for everything. Big brother Nigeria that you see, is carnality. But the real award they should be giving there is the most immoral person, the most stupid. But they won't give it. They will give it in another coin way. Because as carnal these people are, they will never gather and say, let's give an award to the best drunkard of the year, the best smoker of the year, the best lady that sleep with 35 guys of the year. They will never do it. They will hide it in a big brothers. If big brother, they're not supposed to be the one that should guide us. If you have a big brother, it's not your big brother that should lead you, but the big brother don't have sense. But in the day the big brother don't have sense, can the smaller brother have sense? But the problem is that the big brother have made even the smaller brother to follow the big brother. Many of you are part of their sponsors. When are we going to wake up and say we will not watch anything carnal until they lose views? If nobody is watching, they won't do it. If nobody is voting, they will not do it. But because people, Christians, are supporting it, are ambassadors of it. Check the names of people that are doing it. Is it Muslims? Christians. Your 15 naira vote, when you multiply 15 naira by 10 million people in Nigeria, you know how much is it? And every time you are voting, you are sponsoring it, and you are streaming it. And you have not streamed anything in the realm of the spirit. And you come back and you ask God, my life. You don't see, you are not serious yet. The day you are serious, you will forsake all things. The level of the burden upon me, I can't remember the year I slid down to watch a movie. The only movie I watched was this Sudden, Prophet Sudden, because I met the Willows at IEC, and they were talking about this. Sit down, say I'm watching. If you have problems on your head, you won't be doing that. Problems make you responsible by default. At least responsible thinking. But because there is nothing that troubles you, you know, you don't even think you need help at all. You are just there. And only you, series 1, series 2, series 3, series 4, series 5. For 1 week. And you are even angry. Why did the thing stop at this series? They can go higher. You even have revelation on how they can add this part. You are not part of the shareholders. A guy was fighting with his friend. Why? Because Leonardo and Messi, who is the best? We need to be serious with our lives. Remember the Lord thy God in the days of thy youth. Because what I'm telling you now are what affect the youth of this society. None of us found God while we are old. We find him when we are young. Because a time came in our youthful age that we realized that what we are doing was a lie. Every time, as I will go and smoke and drink and come back tired, sometimes we vomit on the road. We come and lie down. Your parent, we still have faith and believe. I'll never forget one time mom looked at me and said, Kai, the life you are living now, you have younger ones, they are looking at you. Is that how you want them to live? I went back for days, I'm thinking about it. So I look at my life. Is my life a good example? You have not sat down to ask yourself, if God should multiply your own kind, will this earth be better? Are you a good example for God to multiply? Forget God use me. God don't need to use you. You like this now. If God should just multiply you plenty, let all of us look like you here. If they should play our life now, play it. Are we good examples? And when I now realize that I am my own problem, and I say, God, help me. Because every day, if I don't smoke, I don't feel okay. If I don't drink, I don't feel okay. I must go and sit among the camp of my non-future ambitious friends. You know, we are so poor, but we are too rich too. No matter how poor a drunkard, a smoker is, he will still have money to steal. Just go there. There is somebody willing to waste his 10,000 on you. A man that may never help you in life, tell him you want to go to party, he will help you. And some of you are so addicted with sex and all of these things, and you feel your life without it, you are dead. You are earning 500,000, even 10,000 to give in the house of God is a problem. But you can give ladies 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. And one day, when the evil day come, you are now saying, God, which God? The God you do not remember. Remember the Lord now. You tell a man, I need school fees. It's just 50,000 to pay. He say, you know what to do now. You know what to do. If you are willing to sleep with him, he can give you 1 million. That is a big father now. This one not big brother, this one is big father. Big father Africa. Our father's not supposed to be responsible, but this big father now is a stupid father. How many fathers have made a caricature, an abuse of the privileges? How many ladies can we attach to you that will not become lesbians? I thought it was a dangerous thing within men. I saw that every woman, when you attach women together, you are in trouble. If they are not fighting each other, they are gossiping each other, or they became lesbians. Because when you begin to do this spiritual thing, you open your soul. If you are not careful and be led by the Holy Ghost, you are gone. Because the more you advance in God, the more emotional you become. The devil knows how to master those intelligence and compromise it. So you need his help. You need Ebenezer. Oh, Galatians church, the only church that began in the spirit. Every church began from carnality to spirituality. This one began from spirituality, and the danger was that they returned back to carnality. They would have wished they began from carnality. How comes you began in the spirit and you end in the flesh, and you are made perfect in the flesh? People that walk in the spirit and they could not do signs and wonders in the spirit now went to the flesh and they were perfected in the flesh. May that never be your testimony. How did they access Ebenezer and they walk in the spirit, and now they lost it and they were perfected in the flesh? What happened to your hunger, your passion, your zeal for God? How comes you that used to spend times with God, now you only jokes, romance novels, movie series, that you are keeping up to all the series, as though you are part of the shareholders. You know every leak, every change. They change somebody from Tottenham, from Manchester, he moved from Chelsea, every club, you are aware of everything. You read every news. You don't know what is transmitting in the spirit. What level of intelligence do you have on the earth? Do you know that a man without spiritual intelligence is illiterate? No matter what you know, without the knowledge of God, you are illiterate. Knowledge begins with God, not science. Science is discovery. True knowledge is God. He is the truth. Because every knowledge leads to death. It's only the truth of life that brings life. The path of Ebenezer. Remember the Lord thy God, because an evil day come. When that evil day come, when you call upon him, the Lord will appear. But when you don't remember him, even when you call upon him in that day, he will look as though he's far from you. Just like that. One day I was on my own. That was when the Lord appeared to me. Why? Because there was a woman that was praying and fasting that God changed her son. Everybody look upon me, says the black sheep of the family. I realized after a while that the black sheep of the family is actually the holy sheep. That person in the family that is giving you trouble is actually the one the call of God is upon. That's why the devil is fighting him the most. I'm telling you, every stubborn person has a calling of an apostle. Every wayward lady sleeping around, messing around, has a calling of an healing evangelist. But the devil will always change the ordination. That talkative is an evangelist. Talkative. That gossiper. There are some people that naturally by default, they will say, when you come close, you just like they want to this. Those ones are prophetic people, but they don't know why. So they are chasing you. Everybody is chasing you. You are a prophet. They are chasing you, but chasing you to do carnal things with you. No, there's a reason why they come close to you. What went ye out there in the wilderness to see? You don't know why men are coming towards you every day. They are coming. There is something that brings them. It's the calling of God. Don't bring it to the flesh and be perfected in it. No, point them to the Christ. If I be lifted up, I will draw all men to me. You may be married. You don't know why men are still coming to you. You tell them I'm married. You say don't worry. There is just something about you I like. That thing he like is the ordination. Don't mistake it for anything. He didn't consult your husband. He sent you 200,000. Send you 300,000. Why? The calling of God makes room and bring men to you. Because of the ointment, the virgins love thee. The calling of God provokes people to love you. And sometimes they desire even your nakedness. What they want is what we call intimacy. So you don't exchange it for yourself. You are supposed to present unto them the Christ. I urge you, I charge you. I am not the bride, but I want to betroth you as a bride to present you to the Lord. How many men focus on themselves? They present people to themselves, not to God. Your guy in the office, every day he wants to be by you, take you around. You have never told him about Jesus. You hide Jesus and you showcase yourself. You don't know that the only security was for you to showcase Jesus. Try it and see. Tell him about God. And if you lose the privileges he's giving you, lose it gloriously. You'll be more safe. If not, that became the genesis of walking in carnality. That is how men begin to watch the path and the corridors of stolen waters. Because the gods are wise. You will think you are wise. They have not caught you. They have not seen you. Don't worry. You are enjoying the privileges of the mercy of God. Spend that economy very well. The time will come. See, no matter how you pray and fast, you can never be able to actualize what grace has not made available. Your faith is handicapped if grace has not made available. Because grace becomes the benchmark for elevation. So Paul said, I am what I am by the grace of God. That grace was not in vain, in that I labor more than they all. So the grace of God comes to help a man to labor, right? But there are people that are not even laboring and they are enjoying the privilege of grace. By how? By the economy of mercy. And mercy was trying to give you extra time so that you can peradventure your journey into grace, because you are supposed to come to the throne of grace to obtain that mercy. Then you continue to advance. But I realize that where the mercy of God cannot reach you, you are doomed. So the person wake up and just die just like that. No, he didn't die just like that. He has spent the economy of mercy and he refused to enter grace and labor in grace. And now mercy stopped and is gone. But by the time you combine mercy and grace, you now have what is called help. That's when now you can access Ebenezer. You are conscious that of course you may not be too perfect. Yet again, you are not lazy. You understand the supply of grace to labor.